Hey, family, thanks so much for joining me again. So, I wanted to talk with you tonight about the importance of repetition. So, I was listening to a recording from Neville Goddard, and it's been a while since I've done this, and I think it's important to do things like this because then you really get to see again, you get to remind yourself of the things that are most important on this journey when we talk about um, changing your energy, shifting your energy, and attracting the things that you want into your life. So I was listening to the Neville Goddard video, and Neville Goddard on the video was talking about um, his friend Ab and how Ab was helping him, with his ideas about get into the feeling of what you want, and it will help you to manifest what you want. So I was listening to it, and I think I said it already, but I hadn't really done that for a while. But it brought me back. So I was listening to it over and over. And it was a short video, maybe it was less than 20 minutes for sure, maybe a little over 16 minutes. But what I discovered is that I started thinking about it in a different way. And then I started feeling a different way about it. And it kind of unlocked a different level for me of consciousness again. And then I remembered in a way why it's so important to read things over and over again and listen to audio over and over again because I get into a different um, brainwave pattern, whether I'm reading or whether I'm listening to something repetitively. And then it helps me to manifest. It helps me to feel a different way, to feel better, to continue to elevate. And it's amazing. And I think a lot of people they don't do it. They say, oh, I got sleepy when I was listening to this or I was watching this. So I just shut it off. And that's, I think, when you're actually reaching the next level of consciousness. That's when I think you're actually opening the door to that other level. And a lot of people just stop, they cut it off instead of continuing with what they're doing. And that's when, a lot of people say that's when they ask their questions. They have their questions ready to ask. For me, I'm asking God, certain questions. Saying this is what I want. How do I get there? Um, and when that happens, usually the answers can come really fast. And I think Napoleon Hill also talked about this in Law of Success. And, usually he would recommend, a different process to keep oneself awake so that when you do get to that state, you could actually ask the questions or, you know, um, put the desires out there and talk about the things that you want. So I think the repetition thing can be really useful because when I did it, like I said, I feel like I, you know, accessed another level of consciousness. And when I did it, then, I noticed this time, wait a minute, I got there again. And it was by, repeating this fairly short video over and over again. And I got into a different brainwave pattern. So some people do it with meditation, some people do it with different things, but I would say that the repetition thing helped me this time to get into it. And there are a lot of different ways to access it, but I would say one thing is to just be mindful of it. It sometimes it takes time. So it might be a couple days, 3 days in a row that you need to do it or that you want to do it. It might be the same day, like for me, it happened the same day. Um, it might be that it's reading for you. It might be a certain book. And when you get into this, you know, reading this book, you get to a different brainwave pattern, or it might be listening to music, it might be listening to an audio, of a book. There are just so many different things that you can do, but getting there is so amazing. And then I would say keep going, to not, stop if you can help it, to continue on your journey, because you really never know how far you can get with these practices. But repetition, I would say. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be over a month, or, I mean, it can be in the same day, just listening to things over and over again. And you hear it in a different way, you understand it in a different way. Your understanding opens up, and um, you start to think of things a different way. It's hard to not to use the word understanding, but you start to understand the material in a different way when you listen to it over and over again. You hear things you didn't hear before. You hear it a way that you didn't hear it before. So I would say it was pretty fascinating for me to unlock it again. And so I'm going to continue on my journey, and maybe I'll make more videos about this, but it was just so nice to do it again and to realize, wait a minute, that's how we get there. Sometimes we just listen to something, repeat it, and it can be a short video, but it can be so impactful. And so I say to you, hopefully you can, do something similar and access it pretty quickly. And, you know, I've always heard, about the importance of reading every day, listening to audios every day, surrounding yourself with other people who are like-minded, who also want similar things. And so I encourage you to continue to do it. Um, I want to thank you for joining me again, family. Thank you for taking the time with me. And I hope to bring you more videos soon that are helpful and useful. But I definitely want to say, hopefully you can engage in these things and get to another level of consciousness where you can change your brainwave pattern and just get into the flow state and really open up some things for yourself, so you could get some questions answered, or get some answers that you've been seeking for a while, or get some direction on which way you want to go to complete a certain project. And hope to hear your stories about your manifestations, about your repeating something, whether you're reading or listening or singing. Or love you all. See you next time. Okay.